It's a program called SketchUp Pro. I'm not going to go into the details of this, but I'm going to show you why you need to understand to manipulate AutoCAD content. I'm going to bring in an AutoCAD file as an underlay, as a template for this drawing. I'm going to go import and look for this 12th floor drawing of the Tremont Street building. And there's the drawing, right? There's a plan. Normally when you bring in a CAD file, it groups it automatically, right? You can lock it in place. Right? Look at the top view. So what we want to do is create outlined extrusions of all these walls. So let's just do this. Right click, whoops, lock. We can remove all these layers because we're going to collapse all these layers. I'm just going to delete them. Delete these tags and assign them all. Right. To untag. Okay, so that's locked. Create a layer called walls. Walls, exterior. And we're still on the default layer, but whatever geometry we create, we're gonna assign to a new layer. So now we'd simply outline the exterior wall. We don't have to do all of them. I'm just going around the model, the area that we're going to model. Naturally, we're going to poke holes, openings, for all these windows that we're outlining around. Do we need that round room? Probably not. Well, we might as well include it for context. A little more work. Okay, there's some artifacting of the CAD drawing there. This is how SketchUp deals with curvature. Things are broken into faceted, because it only is able to model planes and not curves. That little pink feedback line you're getting is saying that it's aligned or parallel to, some of the geometry that it's sensing. Whoops. Made a little mistake there. I'll fix that. Do I want to go around the entire thing? Probably not. Let's go back in the other direction. And now I'm outlining the inside face of wall. That's just HVAC equipment that's by the windows in this building. The systems in this building are largely standalone units that are assigned to each room or each space. Notice I'm tracing the facets. Again, SketchUp is unable to model curves. It's convenient for us because we have a drawing that doesn't have any curves. I'm going around the exterior wall here. I'm ignoring the interior because we created a layer for all that. Skip the HVAC equipment. A little bit of a pilaster here. Right? These are basically built out fur walls that are covering the structure of the building. So those would probably be steel columns, and they built the 12th and 13th floor addition. Oops. Let's go back. Don't remember where we started. So I'm going to stop here. Okay, and I'm gonna take okay. We have that component that's locked. I'm gonna place it on a new layer, but I have to unlock it first. So let's unlock it. Let's create a new layer. not a folder, new layer. AutoCAD underlay. And I'm going to take this thing, this underlay, this CAD drawing that we imported, and put it on that layer. And now what I'm going to do is hide the visibility of that layer so I can see how much work we did so far. So I actually went straight around this, so I want to complete up to that point. Let's draw a line just so that we see where we are. Remember, I'm still on the default layer. That'll be perpendicular. It doesn't matter. Let's just draw it anywhere so we can see. Turn back on that CAD underlay. Let's lock it again. Now we can see what we've drawn. Okay. I'm going to delete that line and just continue drawing from that point. It's going to be a little inaccurate, but that's okay. Remember, now I'm going back the other way. At some point it'll stop drawing when I intersect geometry that I already started, and I don't think I got to this round space. I believe I've done it. Let's turn off this underlay again. Okay? So that's the outline of the floor. I'm going to extrude it to a floor-to-floor height. Let's make sure that this is a shape. It is not yet. Okay. I'm going to have to troubleshoot. What's wrong? There's got to be an opening in here somewhere. Let's draw this. Okay, so I completed that shape. It's not what we want. We want geometry. That's got to be a point. So when you have a problem like this, you just sort of draw complete parts of it, a little at a time. That will heal up this geometry and tell you where the culprit is. So all I'm doing is completing parts. So somewhere in here there's a hole. It may be in 3D that some of this stuff is not quite lining up. Let's try to delete some of this back to my top view. There we go. Now we've got a complete shape. Okay? So now we want to take out those seams. We can just use the eraser tool. And this becomes one mass of geometry that we can extrude. Why do we do the walls first? Well, could have done the floor, right? We will need a shape of the floor. We'll need a shape of the ceiling. But we'll do one thing at a time, right? When I'm done with all this, what I want to do is select it, right? And then extrude it to a height of, I think the floor to floor height is 13 or 14 feet, but let's just say it's at least 12. Let's use 12 feet. Enter 12 feet. Enter. Okay. So there's our walls, and we want to take all this, except for that citizen over there, whom I'll delete, and group it. Make, edit, make, group. And then we want to move that to walls exterior. Okay, so now we have control over the visibility of the CAD underlay, which I can use to model the floor, and then interior walls, and then finally the ceiling, which will require quite a bit of work actually. This, we have to go in and record what's going on in the ceiling, so they're a little complicated. That'll be the subject of subsequent videos.